Whew. Welcome in, talking some start sit questions for week 2. Yep, we're here. Happy to be here. Drop your questions down below. We're getting ready. Win week 2. Hopefully you're 1-0 right now. You're feeling good. Hopefully you're not 0-2 or 0-1. Looking to be 0-2 this week. We don't want any of that. We'll make sure we avoid that today. That's the goal. You guys can just drop any questions you got down below. Elite Volts. Let's see. Traded Chase and Brian Robinson for Aaron Jones and Chris Olave and CMC. I had Jamar. So did I win or lose? Thank you. So you traded away Chase and Brian Robinson and got back Aaron Jones and Chris Olave and CMC. I think it's going to be all dependent on if Christian McCaffrey comes back. I think it's a risk to trade for one second. One second, guys. I'll be right back. Gotta make sure our title says the right things. One second. Alrighty, here we go. Ooh, geez. All right, I just want to throw this out there. If you ask a question one time, just throw a wall one time. I really don't want to answer it if it's in there multiple times. It doesn't make me want to answer it more. So, if you got a question, throw it in, but don't pollute the chat with your one question because a lot of people got them. Nick, James Conner, or J.K. Dobbins? Ooh, that is a good one. Let me pull up my current rankings, and I can let you know who I got on that one. I think I have James Conner 16 and J.K. Dobbins 17. So I slightly lean Conner. I like both of them this week. J.K. Dobbins is one of my starts of the week. But I like both of them. Dobbins are 4 just because we're on the Dobbins train already. I'm leaning Dobbins there. Where do I have Ford? I have Ford a little bit lower because who do they play this week? NFL. Why can I not think? Who did the Browns play this week? Why can I not think of that off the top of my head? Was running late for this, so I feel a little playing the Jags. That's not a bad matchup. I'm gonna still lean Dobbins. This is a big one. I think a lot of people are facing. Should I start AJ Brown? It's tough. For me, right now, I'm gonna say I think I'm feeling a little gun shy after Christian McCaffrey burned me last week. I lost my matchup in week 1 in one of our main dynasty leagues by 15, and I had Christian McCaffrey in the starting lineup, and I had to start Mike Williams, who didn't score at all. So I would probably, if you have another pivot option, go that way and not start AJ Brown. So here's a good one. AJ Brown, Rashee Rice, Chris Godwin. I'm going Rashee Rice and Chris Godwin first. I got Rice higher than Godwin this week. Got Charbonnet, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, and J.K. Dobbins. I would go Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry in this week. This one, I think Alvin Kamara is going to be probably a top 12 back rest of the season, top 15 back. Derrick Henry, in a game where it's going to be positive game script, that should be a good one for him. Let's see. Is Jerome Ford good this week? Just talked about him a little bit. Is he good? It's not a bad matchup, right? The Jags just really held the Miami offense last week. They just really slowed down that rushing attack. So it worries me a little bit. So I'm not super high on Ford this week. I don't think he's a bad play, but I do think there's some downside. And obviously, if Deshaun Watson looks like he did last week, it could be rough once again. Neighbors or Harrison? I think I have Neighbors slightly higher in this one. Playing the Commanders, who are just an awful, awful pass defense. I do. I definitely have Malik Neighbors higher than Marvin Harrison Jr. this week. So I would lean Neighbors. I think both could actually be good plays this week. I'm assuming this is Amari Cooper. If it's Cooper Kupp, then obviously, Cooper Kupp's my wide receiver 1 this week with no Puka Nacua. But if it's Amari Cooper, man, that one stinks. I think I'm gonna still lean Amari Cooper. I don't love it, but I think I am. I just don't think Zach Moss is gonna do anything against the Chiefs. Um, let's see. Ooh, I gotta. AJ Brown is officially out now. So hey, do not, do not start AJ Brown because he is out. So that news just broke. Thank you to Mr. Tyler Plath, the other fella, one of the other fellas, for breaking that. Zay Flowers or Xavier Worthy this week. I have Worthy one spot higher than Zay Flowers. So I think Worthy has the higher upside, but I think he also has a higher floor. So that one is just, if you want to shoot upside, go Worthy. If you want to safe play, go Flowers. I have Christian McCaffrey. Should I trade him yet? I probably wouldn't unless somebody's going to pay a first round price tag on Christian McCaffrey, just because he's probably at his lowest right now. I mean, the reports keep coming out. Oh, he's going to be out 4 weeks at least. He could be up to 6. Maybe he could be the entire season if they just want to shut him right. I think he's at his lowest value he could possibly be at right now. So I wouldn't trade McCaffrey. If you end up 0-3, right, and your team is looking like you go 0-4, then yeah, I think then it comes real time to move McCaffrey. Oh, I got to really hurry up. You guys are just flooding me with questions. Let's see, Andrews or Likely this week. I'm gonna go Mark Andrews. I think I've kind of called this the discounted Gronk, Aaron Hernandez when they were both, top 10 options. I think that's going to be similar to what it is. I think Andrews is still the number one in this offense. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be, I think they were 1-4 that year. I don't think it's going to be quite that because this team's just not going to have the same passing volume. But I do think Andrews is still going to finish higher. And I think Likely is, I think you can still play both. Am I crazy for debating Dobbins over Adams this week in the flex? I actually don't think that's crazy because this Panthers team is going to be historically bad against the run right now that Derek Brown is out. So I really, really don't hate that. I think I still lean Adams, but I do not think it's crazy to debate the two. Let's see. Kyler Murray or Jared Goff. Kyler Murray is a top 5 option every single week at the quarterback position from now on. I don't think he should leave your lineup. I think his rushing upside is too great every single week as long as he's healthy. I think Kyler Murray should pretty much be locked in your lineup unless you have, let's see, who are the quarterbacks that would start ahead of him every single week? Probably Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I think he's in that Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson, Patrick Mahomes tier, I think is where Kyler Murray sits right now. Oh my goodness gracious. You guys are just crushing me with questions. Yes, AJ Brown did just get ruled out for those who did not see. That is some pretty big news. So make sure you have the pivot ready to go. Here's another one. Evan Ingram just ruled out, injured his hamstring in warmups. That is an interesting one to keep track of. I think it raises Brian Thomas and Christian Kirk slightly. I don't think it also makes them a must play, but I think it does raise them slightly. Brian Robinson or Zach Charbonnet this week. I'm still gonna. Actually, no. Zach with Kenneth Walker out. And we got Seahawks playing who again? Let me refresh my memory. Seattle against Patriots. I think I'm still gonna lean Brian Robinson against the Giants, but I do think that one's much closer. Now, Hubbard or Zamir White in a PPR. I think I'm still going to go Zamir White. I just don't think Hubbard's going to get a ton of carries this week. And Miles Sanders actually was in that lineup quite a bit last week. So that is an interesting one. Should I trust Amon-Ra? Absolutely. Don't think about last week twice. Yes, you trust Amon-Ra St. Brown. So do not worry about him. Jaden Daniels or Dak Prescott. I'm going Jaden Daniels this week. I don't think he quite hit 16 carries for 88 yards. 2 tutties again on the ground, but I think the rushing work's going to be crazy in this whatchamacallit. I think the rushing attack's going to be, oh my gosh, I think the rushing is going to be good, and I think the passing is going to get better. Devonta Smith or Chris Godwin. I'm going to go Devonta Smith now that AJ Brown is out for the game. I still think Godwin's going to have a great week. I would try to play both if you could, but I will lean Smith now that for sure now that AJ Brown is out. Start 2, sit 1, Xavier Worthy, Zach Charbonnet, and Brian Thomas in PPR. I'm going to go Brian Thomas and Xavier Worthy this week. I think, having Evan Ingram be out, they're going to have to lean on the wide receivers a little bit more. And I like the upside with Worthy. And so I'm going to go with both Allen Lazard or Josh Palmer. This feels gross, and that's because it is. I'm going to still go with Josh Palmer over Allen Lazard. I know he had the 2 touchdowns last week, but I trust Josh Palmer just a little bit more in the role that he's in. There was a good where'd that one go? What? Ooh, guys, you guys are going so quick. What do I do with T. Higgins? What do I do with T. Higgins? That's a good one. I think you got to hold at this point. I think, unless somebody's really, coming after trying to get T. Higgins, I think you just hold him on your bench. You hope that he's back next week. If we hear something else come out that he's gonna be out longer, then I think we can make a different decision. Godwin or Marvin Harrison this week. I actually have Godwin 1 spot higher than Marv. Tyler, one of the other fellas, has Godwin considerably higher than Marv. If you guys are on, you guys know Tyler. I don't know why I keep saying one of the other fellas. I just say Tyler. Reed, Neighbors, Cooper, choose 2. I'm going to go Neighbors and Cooper. I don't trust Malik Willis at all. I do not trust Malik Willis to have over 150 passing yards this game. So I'm going to stay away from all Packers wide receivers. I think you can start Josh Jacobs, but I'm going to stay away from the Packers wide receivers. Trade Andrews for McBride. Yeah, I would take McBride over Andrews at this point. I think Andrews is going to be, I still think he's a top 6 option, but I like McBride more, knowing the emergence of Isaiah Likely in this offense. Burrow or Baker Mayfield? I'm going Baker Mayfield. I got Burrow outside my top 20 quarterbacks this week. I'm not trusting Burrow if I can help it until I see a week from him where he looks good, where he looks comfortable throwing the ball. He didn't look comfortable throwing the ball in this last game. Brian Thomas, J.K. Dobbins, or Tank Dell in the flex. I would go Dell, Dobbins, Brian Thomas in that order. I think if you can start both Dell and Dobbins this week, I would try to find a way to get both in the lineup, but I would go Dell over Dobbins. DJ Moore or Devontae Adams this week. I got DJ Moore ranked slightly higher. However, I think I'm coming down a little bit on it just because I'm actually going to go Devontae Adams just because I think Rome Odunze is for sure playing. Keenan Allen might play tonight. So I am going to go Devontae, but it's very close for me. It is very, very close. Jameson Williams or Tank Dell. I'm going to go Tank Dell. I am decently high on Jameson Williams. I just think I would wait one more week just to make sure that the volume's coming before I fully trust him in my lineup. If the volume stays like we saw last week, then yeah, I think you can trust him going forward. At flex, Brandon Cook, Calvin Ridley, or Cortland Sutton. That's Ridley for me. I know he plays the Browns. I know it's a tougher matchup, but I'm gonna lean Ridley over those 2. Is Alexander Madison good? I wouldn't trust Madison. I wouldn't trust Zamir White if I can help it. I still have Zamir White over Madison. I think he's the primary running back. Madison just having to break a pass for a touchdown last week. I'm not trusting Alexander Madison at all. 49ers or Colts defense this week. I'll probably lean the Colts playing against Malik Willis. I just don't think they're going to be able to do anything. Christian Watson or Ladd McConkey. I'm going to go Ladd McConkey. Like I said, I want nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the Packers, passing game with Malik Willis at quarterback. I just don't trust him at all. Brian Thomas or DJ Moore? Give me DJ Moore. I'm definitely trusting DJ Moore this week. Justin Fields or Jared Goff in PPR? That's a really good question. I have them very close. I have Fields actually as a top 12 quarterback this week, so I think I'm going to lean Fields. I'm going to shoot the upside that he's going to run the ball a lot and just put up points. I think it's going to be a lot uglier than what Jared Goff's going to do, but I'm going to trust in Justin Fields. JSN, Hubbard, DK, Likely, and Jalen McMillan for PPR. Well, I mean, out of those, I'm going to take DK. If that was like your question, that was kind of hard to understand, to be honest. But I'll take DK, Aaron Jones or Jameson Williams, half PPR. I'm still gonna lean Aaron Jones, like I said. Jameson, I just want one more week just to make sure that it's there, because he's a guy I feel like could pop, drop 0 again. He's a guy that could get another 6 targets for 85 yards and a touchdown, and then you're like, oh, shoot, I have him on my bench. But I would play it safe and wait one more week. Zamir White or Justice Hill. I'm going to still go Zamir White. I just don't think Justice Hill is going to get a ton of work in this one, because I just don't think they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. I think they're going to run all over this Raiders team. Burrow or Goff. I'm seeing this a couple of places. I'm going Goff. I just don't want to trust Burrow until I see him look comfortable, until I see him look good in a game. I already answered this question. What am I doing? Justin, you're welcome. Thank you for asking your question. All right. I need to start one running back and one flex. Devonta, Rashad White, Jordan Mason, Chris Godwin. I'm going to go Devonta Smith and Jordan Mason now that McCaffrey's out. That's who I trust. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of those guys. I think if you start hitting those 4, I think all 4 could have very good weeks this week. But I would lean Devonta and Mason. Olave, Ridley, and MHJ. I'm still gonna go Olave and MHJ. I'm gonna trust him and put him back in the lineup. I think last week was just like, welcome to the NFL. You looked outclassed. You need to, focus a little bit more this week. I think this week's gonna be much better. Malik Neighbors, Chris Olave, or Zach Charbonnet. I'm gonna go with Neighbors, actually. I think Neighbors could have a huge week against this Commanders defense. So I'm definitely gonna take Neighbors in that one. Let me see. Oh, I got another. No new updates. Let's see. I keep missing the ones I want. Jaden Daniels or Kyler. This is really good. I got Kyler one spot higher than Jaden Daniels. I got him 6 and 7 this week in my weekly rankings. I think both could be great. But I am going to lean Kyler. I think he's a little safer, and I think they have the same upside. Terry McLaurin or Marvin Harrison. Give me Marv again. I think Terry could, like I said, if Jaden Daniels passing is going to get better this week, I think that's going to go through Terry. So I think Terry's going to have a decent week. But, I'm going to go Marv. Is London a start for this week? I think you can trust Drake London again. I'm not like super thrilled about it. I'm not like completely out that I don't think you can play him. I still think he's a top 25 option. So I would still start him, but I mean, I think it's, like if you've got a Tank Dell, I'm probably starting Tank Dell over Drake London this week. So he's not in that same threshold or echelon that we saw before until we can see it from Kirk. Jordan Mason or Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm still going to go Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Jordan Mason's going to I think he's going to eat against my Minnesota Vikings, unfortunately, but I'm gonna lean Jahmyr Gibbs. Burrow or Mayfield. This one's the one I've seen a couple times. I'm going Mayfield this week. I am. I'm just not putting any faith into Burrow. Burrow I have, ranked right around the Caleb Williams, Kirk Cousins, Will Levis, Aaron Rodgers range. So that's where I got Burrow. If you would start the person you're thinking of over those guys, and I'd start him over Burrow this week. Let's see. Calvin plays the Jets, not Browns. Oh, shoot. What am I thinking? I was thinking he was still on the Jags. You're right. Would I still play him over Brandon Cooks? I think I would still play Calvin over Brandon Cooks, but that one is very close. I don't know why I was thinking he was still on the Jags playing the Browns, but you're right. He is playing the Jets, and we'll get matched up against Sauce. Hopefully he gets thrown into the slot a little bit more when D-Hop comes back out. But yeah, I'm still going to play Calvin and trust Calvin. AJ Brown listed as out. Yes, AJ Brown is out. Evan Ingram is out. Kenneth Walker is out. Who else was out? Man, yeah. So just, a couple late inactives. Should I go Keenan Allen? I'd go Gabe Davis just because Keenan Allen could be out in, the matter of an hour. So I just, I wouldn't want you to get stuck with a 0. So I would lean Gabe Davis. I think if Keenan Allen plays, he's a better play, but he doesn't play it all the night. And you don't want to get screwed and have a 0, because I had that last week with McCaffrey and it was not fun. Dortch, Lazard, or Deontay Johnson with AJ out. Options are trash. Yeah, no, it's crazy that we're in week 2 and there's people already feeling that. If you have Puka, AJ Brown, like you could have started your turn in a 12-man league with AJ Brown and Puka Nacua, and I feel so bad. Like and you could have grabbed T Higgins later on. You got 3 of your top 5 picks that aren't even playing. Between those 4, I'm going to go Deontay Johnson still. I think I think this Panthers defense or Panthers offense isn't going to be worse than what we saw last week. So I am going to go Deontay. Metcalf or Connor. I think I'd lean Connor as well over Metcalf this week. I think it's very close. But I think I will take Connor over Metcalf. Zamir White or Rico Dowdle. I'm going to go Zamir White just because it looked like this was a little bit more Zeke's backfield than Rico's backfield last week. So something to definitely keep an eye on. Ramondre Stevenson or Alvin Kamara. I'm going to go Kamara. I think Kamara is going to succeed no matter the game script. I think Stevenson on this Patriots team is going to need a game against, like Cincinnati last week where they get up. Don't think they're going to have many of those. So I just don't trust Stevenson until I see him in a negative game script. Jane Reed, Zach Moss, JSN. I'm going to go JSN in this one. Normally, Jordan loves playing. I'm going Jane Reed. I just don't trust Malik Willis. That's what it comes down to. So I'm going to go JSN over Zach Moss. Drake London or Brian Thomas Jr. I'm still leaving Brian Thomas Jr. Burrow or I keep trying to click on a comment and I keep missing. So I will get to yours. You guys are just completely flooding it right now. Burrow or Purdy. Like I said, guys, if your question's about Joe Burrow, I would sit Joe Burrow this week. So I'm going Brock Purdy in this one. Kyler Murray or Anthony Richardson. I got Anthony Richardson one spot higher than Kyler Murray. You could go either way with that one. I don't think you're going to be wrong. And Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely. I still got Andrews ranked higher. I think you could start both this week. I think they're probably both going to be weekly starts, but I still am going to lean Mark Andrews week to week moving forward. J.K. Dobbins or Josh Jacobs right now. I got that one's close. I think I got Dobbins one spot higher than Jacobs, and it just comes down to I just don't think the offense is going to move the ball a ton, and I think Dobbins is going to run all over the Panthers. So I'm going to lean Dobbins. Jacobs, I still think is going to have a decent week. McLaughlin, Warren, or Mooney. Oh, we're killing me here. I'm gonna go Jaylen Warren out of them. I'm gonna hope that the hamstring's back to full health. Because if it is, I think he has a much higher ceiling than the other ones. Full PBR. Should I flex? Zay Flowers, Chris Olave, Tank, or Jerome Ford? I think I'm still leaning Chris Olave here. I just got to imagine that Saints just look to get him involved in this one. Tank would be my next after him, but I think I'm still gonna lean Olave. Mark Andrews or Trey McBride. I don't know how you have both of them on your team, but I'd go Trey McBride on this one. Baker or Dak. I'm going to take Dak. I think this passing offense gets back on track. Nate, you're welcome, my guy. Thanks for asking the question. Let's see. Xavier, Drake London, or Brian Thomas. I'm ranking them Drake London, then Xavier, then Brian Thomas this week. DK, Tank Dell, Jaden Reed for the injured AJ Brown. Yeah, I know a lot of people are dealing with, but let's just be thankful that you hear about it today, right? You're not Monday night right before the game starts. Go, oh, by the way, he's out, and you're like, well, that sucks. At least today. In my rankings, I got DK, Tank, then Jaden Reed. It's really between DK or Tank for me. I think you go either way. I prefer DK though. Marvin Harrison or Tank Dale. I slightly got Marv above Tank, but that one is very close to me. Ty's got them back to back. So Tank is probably safer, but I think I still lean Marv. Let's see. Jerome Ford or Rashad White. Yeah, it's definitely Rashad White in this one. Definitely Rashad White. I just, this Jags run defense, I think sneaky decent. So I think they're a hard one to kind of bet against. Rico, Jaleel, or Gus. I'm going to go with Gus. I think the Chargers going to run all over the Panthers team. So I'm going to go with Gus. Jaden Daniels and Anthony Richardson. I'm going to still give the edge to Richardson, but I do think Jaden Daniels is going to have a great week this week. I got both top seven options on the week. Dobbins, Ford, or Charbonnet. I'm going to go Dobbins. Like I said, Panthers defense is going to be historically bad against the run. Start one, Christian Watson. I assume that's supposed to be Jahan Dotson or Wan'Dale Robinson. I think I'm gonna go Wan'Dale actually, just because I don't want any part of the Packers pass attack, and Dotson now. So I'm gonna go Wan'Dale. Got 12 targets week 1. We're gonna hope that kind of keeps up. Simply, thank you for answering your question. Glad we could get that taken care of. Is Tarek McLaurin good enough playing the flex? I think he could have a decent week this week. Obviously, depends who else you have on your team. But yeah, I think against the Giants defense, I think McLaurin could definitely be a decent play in week 2. Bowers or Laporta at tight end, stick with Laporta. And should you flex one over Ridley? No, I'd still throw in Ridley. I'm just not a huge fan of throwing the tight end at the flex unless it's like Laporta and McBride. Then maybe you could go that way, but I'd go Laporta and Ridley over Bowers. Let's see. Tony Pollard or James Cook. Well, James Cook already played, so I would probably say James Cook since he had 29 points. Let's see. How do we feel about Najee? I mean, if last week was any indication, he's going to get a lot of usage in this offense. It just wasn't very efficient against, the Falcons. So I don't know. Can they get a good matchup? Who do they have again this week? Why can't I think? Broncos. Broncos is a good matchup. I don't know why I couldn't remember who they're playing. But yes, Broncos is a good matchup. Oh, did I not even click on that? I clicked on the wrong comment. But yeah, I think Najee's a fine option. Bowers or Andrews at tight end. I'd still trust Andrews this week. I'd give Andrews probably the next 2 weeks. If we're in week 4 and we're like, hey, he's had 3 stinkers in a row, then I think we can have the conversation. But I would still trust Andrews right now. Mike Evans or Jonathan Taylor, my league mate, dropped Mike Evans for some reason. You might want to get your league mate checked in the head after he scored 2 touchdowns last week. I'm still going JT. But I would probably find a way to get both of them in your lineup. Is Devon Adams or Smith? We'll talk about both, I guess. Devontae Adams is, yes, I think they're both were starting. This is the answer that I'm going to give you on both. Let's see. How are we feeling about DeAndre Hopkins this week? Do not touch DeAndre Hopkins this week. Didn't play, full snaps last week. Sorry, guys. I'm like losing it after 30 minutes of this. He didn't play full snaps last week, and he's, they're playing the Jets. So I would not trust DeAndre Hopkins if you can avoid it. J.K. Dobbins or Jordan Mason. Give me Jordan Mason. After what we saw last week against the Vikings defense, that frankly I don't think is that great against the run, even though they played decent against the Giants. I'm gonna take Jordan Mason. Let's see. Start 3: Pacheco, Kyron, Kamara, Mason. I'm gonna go at the last 3. I'm gonna go Kyron, Kamara, and Jordan Mason. I think is really close. I think you got 4 top 12 options. I don't think you can go wrong. But I'm going to go with Kyron, Kamara, and Jordan Mason. Pick one: Ridley, Brian Thomas, or Najee. I'm going to go Najee against the Broncos. It's kind of gross, I admit, but I am going to go with Najee Harris there. Teams in shambles. Zamir or Chuba. Or do we just start Ken Walker? Well, Ken Walker's already out, so I would stay away from starting Ken Walker. I'd go Zamir personally, but it's like you said, it's not a pretty decision. At least you know it going into it. I already answered this question. I already said Rachaad White. Why are we still asking it? I haven't answered it for you. So let's see. Jane Daniels or Anthony Richardson. I'm leaning Anthony Richardson, but it's close. It's very close. I got Jane Daniels and Anthony Richardson both as top 7 options this week, but I am gonna go Richardson. Um, Stafford or Rodgers. Oof, that one's not quite as fun. I'm gonna go Stafford. I think he's another top 12 guy this week. You know, if he throws 2 touchdowns last week, he's quarterback 7 on the week. I think we could see something similar again this week against the Cards. Dak or Jane Daniels. I do lean Jane Daniels. I think the rushing upside is too much, to pass up on. And I just think, yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna go Jane Daniels. Late pickup ideas for tight ends. If Kobe Parkinson's still out there, he'd be the guy I'd go get right away. Luke Schoonmaker, he'd probably be another late one that you could maybe get. If you're really reaching down the barrel, maybe you go grab a Tyler Conklin. But those probably be the 3. Looking at DFS, best value at the quarterback position. I don't even know what the values are right now. If I had to guess, Stafford wouldn't be a bad one. If you could get Jaden Daniels, he'd probably be the cheapest upper echelon guy, I think, for this week. I like those. If you're going to kind of try and reach a little farther down, Baker's another one I like. If you really, really wanted to take a chance, you could go real gross and try Sam Darnold and just hope that, hey, he finds a way to beat his whole team. I wouldn't recommend that one, but that would be if you have no money left and are choosing someone, maybe you go him. But I'd say Baker and Stafford kind of for the middle range, and then maybe a little Jane Daniels if you want to get upper echelon QB for a little bit cheaper. Let's see. Kyron or JT this week. I'm still going JT. It is, we got him back to back in our rankings. I got JT at 4, Kyron at 5. So I would try and start both if you have the ability to. Breece Hall or James Conner. Breece Hall for sure. He's my running back 1 this week. So definitely Breece Hall. Start 1. Neighbors, McConkey, Tank Dell, or Metcalf. I'm going Neighbors. Malik Neighbors, Chris Godwin. I'm still going Neighbors there as well. Richardson or Stroud. I'm going to go Anthony Richardson. That rushing upside against this Packers team that doesn't have Malik Willis. I think he could easily find the end zone again on the ground and through the air. I'm going to go him there. Talking 2 rookies now between Malik Neighbors and Xavier Worthy. You just got to go Malik Neighbors, guys. I think if this season, if you got a guy who's starting a running back against the Panthers, so J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards, or you got wide receivers or quarterback against the Commanders, got to find a way to start him unless their name's Daniel Jones, and you keep him out. So Neighbors, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, I think all should be starts this week. Alec Pierce or Calvin Ridley. I'd go Calvin Ridley. Alec Pierce was fun last week. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to count on, he has to catch a 6-yard touchdown to be relevant. I think Ridley's better than he showed last week as well. J.K. Dobbins or Jordan Mason. I'm going to go Jordan Mason. I think he's a top 12 option. I think we saw enough last week that they trust him. So as long as the 49ers trust him, you want whoever the 49ers running back is. Should you trade either Likely or Andrews? I wouldn't trade Andrews for sure. Likely if you can get, a top 25 wide receiver or something like that, then yeah, I would go trade Likely. James Conner or Pacheco. I got Pacheco over Conner again this week. Let's see. Amari Cooper or Jamison Williams. So that one's interesting. I do have Amari ranked higher, but at the same time, I feel like JMO still has a much higher ceiling. I think Amari's the correct play, but JMO feels so much more fun. So I would say Amari, but JMO definitely feels fun. Do you think Keenan Allen be good to go tonight? I don't want to say yes because I thought Christian McCaffrey was going to be good tonight, good to go last week, and it screwed me. I would try and pivot away from Keenan Allen if at all possible. How do you feel about Metcalf with Ken Walker being out? I don't know if that really affects it. I kind of view him the same as I viewed him before. As I viewed him before Kenneth Walker being out. I don't know if it changes too much. Do you guys like Mark Andrews? Yes, I still think Mark Andrews is top 6 option. I think he's a buy low candidate right now. Might close after this week, but yeah, I still think he's a top 6 option. Should I worry about Waddle? It's gonna dip if Tua's not back. If they don't sign, if it's Skylar Thompson, yeah, it's gonna dip. So I worry a little bit. Tua said today that he doesn't necessarily think he's gonna retire, which is shocking to me. So if Tua's back in a couple of weeks, then yeah, I think Waddle's just fine. But yeah, I don't know. You got to worry a little bit. That doesn't mean you should go trade him. I wouldn't go trade him right away, but you do got to worry a little bit. I have Ladd, Wandale, Rashid, and DK. I need 2 of them. DK and Ladd would probably be who I'm starting there. The Irish kid, you're welcome. Thanks for the question, my guy. Montgomery or McLaurin. I have David Montgomery ranked higher this week. Devontae Adams or Garrett Wilson. Got to go Garrett Wilson. Rodgers showed it's him and Lazard, and that's it. And Breece Hall, that's all he's going to throw the ball to, which is good news for them. Mark Andrews or Kobe Parkinson. Go Mark Andrews this week. I wouldn't get too cute with it, although Kobe Parkinson's not a bad tight end if you don't have anybody else. Ladd or Tank Dell. Give me Tank Dell. I think this is a big bounce back week for Tank. Second in air yards on the team, 10th in the NFL in air yards last week, excuse me. He was, tied for the most targets on the team, second in routes run, just behind Diggs, ahead of Nico. So I am still going to trust Tank Dell. Let's see. Brian Thomas Jr. or Jaden Reed. I am going to go with Brian Thomas Jr. Let's see. Charbonnet or Rashad White. I think I'm still going to lean Rashad White in this one. I think against, Detroit, he's going to see enough receiving work like he did last week that, he's going to outperform Charbonnet against a pretty tough Patriots defense. Travis Etienne or Derrick Henry. I'm going Derrick Henry this week. I think Etienne's fine. I think everybody's really worried about after what we saw last week with Tank Bigsby coming in. I think he's going to be fine, but Derrick Henry against this Raiders team, I think is going to get a lot of rushing attempts this week. London, Brian Thomas are likely PPR. I'd go London still. I'd still trust it, London. If we see another week or two of where Kirk Cousins doesn't look the same, then we can start to worry. But I think London himself is fine. Kyler Murray or Dak Prescott. I'm going Kyler there. I think Kyler's, I think he's a top 7 option every single week, no matter what. Is the Chargers defense a solid pick? Yeah, you got to think until Carolina shows us any signs of life. Yeah, I think any defense that's playing them is going to for sure be a solid pick. Travis Etienne or Devin Singletary, go Etienne. Don't get that cute with it. No, I wouldn't try and put Singletary in. You still trust Etienne. Demarcus Robinson or Jameson Williams. That one I still go Jameson Williams. For sure. Chicken, you're welcome. Let's see. Ooh, I missed it. Well, we'll answer this one. This one's gross. The one I wanted to answer was a little cleaner, but this one was kind of gross. Wandale or Cortland Sutton. We will go with still gonna lean Sutton, I think there. Still gonna lean Sutton. Godwin or Pittman. I got Godwin. I like Godwin a lot this week. I think he's one of our starts of the week, so I'm still gonna go Godwin. No, Avery, you are the best. Thank you for answering asking questions. Hanging out before the games today. Let's see. We'll go right back to Avery. Do you like T. Higgins when he's back? When he's back, yes, but it is a little concerning that it just keeps being pushed out. It was I feel like some of these injuries we're thinking, hey, they're 1 week and they're just extending it, so that does worry me a little bit. But I still like him when he does come back. Will asks Jamison Williams or Keenan Allen. I'm gonna go JMO just because I don't want you to get stuck on Sunday night and you're all of a sudden 30 minutes before and they go, hey, Keenan Allen's not playing. You're like, well, now I got nothing to pivot to. So I'd go JMO in that one. Garrett Wilson or Amon Ra. Holy cow, you must be in like either have no teammates or you're in a 4-man league or something wild. I'm still going Amon Ra slightly, but yeah, I find a way to get both in your lineup. Unless you have just the wildest lineup, I'd find a way to get both. Let's see. Lamar or Daniels. I'm still going to go Lamar, but Daniels is right there. Muth, Gesicki, or Fant. Whoa, disgusting. Give me Muth, but not exactly a pretty discussion there. I'm in a 4-man. Oh, there you go. That'd make a little more sense. I try to get both in your lineup this week. I got both as top 6 options. So I try to get both in, but Goff or Daniels, definitely go Daniels there. Definitely go Daniels. Monty or Zach Charbonnet. Monty or Zach Charbonnet. I'm gonna go with Monty still. I'm still gonna go Monty there. Hurts or Prescott? Give me Hurts. Give me Hurts for sure. Chargers adjust defense. I'm gonna pick the Chargers. I'm gonna pick the team that's against the Carolina Panthers. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Hurts or Daniels? I still got Hurts over Daniels for sure. McConkey, Dobbins, or London. I'm gonna lean Dobbins. All right, guys, I got about 8 minutes left. If I haven't answered your questions, we do have a Discord that we just started, where we have our fantasy ranks every single week. It's completely free to join. We have our top 150 some players every single week that are ranked for you guys. So if I didn't get to your question, you can go over there. We got a lot of people over there answering questions. I think we're 1,300 strong in a week and a half. So hopefully we're going to just keep trying to grow that, give you guys, more opportunities to, find leagues for next year, to have people answer your questions, and hopefully do some more giveaways over on the Discord. So make sure you go join over on that. Let's answer a couple more questions. Got Amari Cooper or Marvin Harrison? I'll go Marvin Harrison. I assume it's Amari Cooper. If it's Cooper Kupp, then definitely Cooper Kupp. But I'm going to assume it's Marvin Harrison. I'm not going to play Pickens. Yeah, I wouldn't touch Pickens this week if you can avoid it. Pick 2: Rashad White, Najee Harris, or Travis Etienne. I'm going to go Rashad and Etienne there. Fields or Burrow? I'm going to go Fields. I'm not going to trust Burrow if I can avoid it until he proves me that, he should be trusted. So I'm going to stay away from Burrow for the time being. Is Rashid Shaheed legit? I think he's what he was last year. He's a deep threat who will get you some, boom weeks, but he could also, just put up a big fat 0. So he's going to be completely boom or bust. Pittsburgh, Colts, or Texans defense this week. I'm going to go with the Colts against Malik Willis. Dak or Fields, JMO or Pickens. I'm going to go Dak and JMO there. I'm going to go Dak and JMO. Goddard or Bowers. Give me Bowers. I think you got to trust Bowers now. I think, Gardner showed he trusts him, so you should as well. Pickens or Dortch. So, right, I think Pickens is a sit this week, but I wouldn't get that cute with it. I'd still start Pickens over Dortch. Alan Lazard or Christian Watson. Ooh, we're getting gross there. I actually think I'm going to go Lazard just because I just don't trust Malik Willis. And I think that's what it comes down to. Let's see. Goff or Burrow. I'm gonna go Goff on that one. I am. Um, it's just like I said, I just don't trust Burrow at all, guys. I just don't, and I want to, I just can't. Godwin, Tank Dell, or Rice. Wow, you know what? I really like all three. I'm gonna rank them Rice, Godwin, Dell. But man, I like all three this week. I don't think you can go wrong. Don't think you can go wrong. Let's see. This is a big one that I keep getting. Likely or Mark. I still trust Mark more. I do. I think likely you can still start every single week now. I think both are going to be top 10 options at the end of the season, but I trust Mark Andrews more. Likely or Ridley in the flex. I'm gonna take Ridley. I'm gonna take Ridley. Let's see. Traded Diggs and James Cook for McCaffrey before getting put on IR. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be an L now because McCaffrey is on IR and he can miss 4 to 6 weeks. So I think that's just the bummer that it is. If your team's able to survive, right? If you come out of it 4-2, if you come out of it, something like that, and you get McCaffrey back, and then he comes back fully healthy, then it could be a dub. But for right now, I'm going to have to say the L. And that's it just sucks that he ended up getting put on IR because it went from like, oh, he should be playing week 1 to all of a sudden like it went downhill really fast. So sucks that it happened. I have McCaffrey and all just sucks the way that all played out, but that is unfortunately the way that it is now. Metcalf or Zach Sharby in the flex spot. Still start Metcalf. Zamir White or Zach Moss. Neither. I guess if you got to pick one, I'd go Zamir White. Again, guys, we got about 3 minutes until I got to log off. If I didn't get to your questions, join our Discord. I think there's a link in our bio. If not, go to our link tree and or link in this video, not link in our bio. Link in this video for our Discord. Go join that. We got our full fantasy rankings over there. We got tons of people answering questions over there. Definitely something worth checking out. Drake London or George Pickens. I'm gonna go Drake London still. Yeah, and this is just the matter of where we're at in week 2. That there's a lot of people already who are Kenneth Walker, Christian McCaffrey, AJ Brown, Puka Nacua, T Higgins, right? Where I'm already got so many pivots that it just kind of stinks, right now. So, do I like Neighbors? Yes, I like Neighbors this week. I like Neighbors a lot. He's one of my starts of the week. He's a guy I'm pushing a lot of chips in on this week. I think against this Commanders defense, I think it could be a really big one for him. Demarcus Robinson or JMO. I would go JMO for sure in this one. All right, guys. I got about 1 more minute. Like I said, join that Discord. Head on over there. Check out the podcast each week. We're answering questions like that all the time. So make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube. But yeah, I'll try to answer as many questions as I can in this last minute. And if I don't get to them, head on over to that Discord to get last second questions answered over there as well. Okay. DJ Moore or Tony Pollard. I'm gonna go with DJ Moore. Najee Harris or Cooper Kupp at the flex. I'm gonna go Cooper Kupp over Najee just slightly. J.K. Dobbins or Drake London. I still think I'm gonna trust Drake London over J.K. Dobbins. Am I in a league with the other guys at the fellas? Yeah, we're actually in 4 leagues together. And we alternate on who's winning in which league. Unfortunately, wish I could say I was the champ between us 3. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I'm gonna go with Jahmyr Gibbs over Monty. Let's see, Aaron Jones or Zach Charbonnet. I'm gonna go with Aaron Jones still. And then for our last question of the week, Najee or Amari in the flex. Like I said, I think I'd go Amari here over Najee. Well, just like we got right here. Good luck this week to everybody. Join that Discord if I didn't get to your question. Thank you for joining us today. Like we'll be back every single week before games. I think Tyler's running it next week, so make sure you join. Good luck, and we will see you guys later. Deuces.